If you have children, you are going to want to learn more about Prima Pediatrics here in our valley, headed by Dr. Shelly Feldman, located online at primapediatrics.net, phone number 424-9000. Welcome back to the Hometown Morning Show, Doctor.
Thank you. I apologize for my absence.
Oh, well, that's quite all right. We're glad you're here. So it sounds like you've had a little bit of excitement lately.
Indeed, I have. What was the cause of my absence was I went to Israel for the birth of my new grandson.
Well, very exciting.
It was very nice. Number 5. Yes, my daughter and her husband are a little off the walls, but they're good parents and they have great kids. And they have learned, I believe, how to do something that none of the rest of us know how to do. Naturally clone their children. Every one of their boys, this is number 3, are identical. It's just like looking at the same kid.
Well, I don't want to break it to you because I know you're a doctor, Dr. Feldman, but I don't think that they're cloning. See, when two people fall in love, no, I'm sorry. But anyway.
I got that.
Oh, okay.
But that brings up, of course, the issues of gender and so forth. And, of course, the main reason we went was to be there for the circumcision ceremony. And I have a wonderful picture of my new grandson, who is now 3 weeks old, but at the time, who was in his, quotes, christening dress just before the circumcision ceremony. And I showed it to one of the parents in our practice because she asked about it. And she says, my gosh, it looks like he's in a christening dress. I said, as a matter of fact, it's identical to what we put on boys for circumcision. And the difference, I think, between Gentiles and Jews is that the Gentiles dunk their babies in water and we cut their peepees.
Ba-dum-bum.
But that, brings me to, why do a circumcision? And aside from the religious reasons, which are quite separate, there are good medical reasons to circumcise your boys. Unlike what the Academy of Pediatrics stance was, about 20 years ago, they've changed. And now we know that circumcising your son actually does a number of things. Number 1, it does reduce the number of urinary tract infections in the first year. There's no question about that. That is absolutely fact. So, of course, not that many boys get urinary tract infections in their first year, but if you want to avoid it, that's one way to do it. And the second one is that we have to avoid infections in the area. And I don't know if any of you are mothers or grandmothers or fathers or grandfathers of boys in the ages of the toddler years, but their hygiene is not particularly fastidious.
Well, toddler years and sometimes beyond, but I see where your point is.
Right. And so, first of all, the foreskin in most boys is not retractable until usually at least age 2 to 3, and in some boys not until they hit puberty. So they get sand and dirt and stuff like that up underneath that foreskin. It stays there, scratches their peepees, and causes infection. So balanitis, which is an infection of the penis, is almost non-existent in babies that are circumcised, but is very prevalent amongst kids that aren't.
Yikes.
So that's 2 things. The third, which is the best one yet, is that just as it reduces infection in little boys, it reduces infection in big boys. The most important thing being is that the foreskin in a male tends to be basically the only area of major receptors for the HIV virus. And there are some who have said that if they circumcised every male in Africa, they would reduce the incidence of AIDS by approximately 70%.
Wow.
So I think it's pretty good reason to do that.
Okay.
So that is the thoughts on circumcision for the day.
There we are. Mazel tov and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, then, that brings us to all the issues of gender.
Right.
Let's talk about sex. Now, that'll get you all listening. Now, the truth of the matter is that the big topic these days is this transgender thing. What are your thoughts on it? What have you heard?
Well, just what I read in the papers. But I think that I will say this, and I want to be very careful in making any type of public statements as in my capacity.
Right.
That it only seems to have become an issue when an issue was made of it. That it seems like there is a solution now that is in search of a problem. If I may be so clear on that, and that's about as far as I'll go publicly.
And I absolutely agree. My point of view is this: is whatever gender you're either born with or that you think you are or whatever, it is irrelevant in the issue of bathrooms. What is relevant is that we do not provide adequate privacy to anyone in a public bathroom. That's the issue. Mm-hmm. Everybody should be entitled to be behind a stall to do their business, whether it's number one or number two. And quite frankly, I have never understood why men's bathrooms have all these urinals in a row so that everybody can pee together when they should just be in separate stalls. It should be a private business, period. If every bathroom had a stall for those who wish to do their business, then we would not have an issue, would we?
Probably not.
Right. So the issue is not transgender. The issue really is privacy. And just like in boys' bathrooms, some boys can assault other boys in the bathroom. And in girls' bathrooms, some girls can assault other girls in the bathroom. In bathrooms with stalls, there will still be an issue of people assaulting other people. Let us hope that it is a very rare problem, one that is handled swiftly and carefully, but is irrelevant to the issue of privacy.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Dr. Shelly Feldman, Prima Pediatrics, located here in the Santa Clarita Valley, primapediatrics.net. The number 424-9000 for all your pediatric needs. Give her a call. Doctor, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate all of your input.
My pleasure. Hopefully I'll be here next month too.
Wonderful. 822 local news coming your way after this.